Michael, and welcome to another episode of the Gears Tech Zone. Today we wanted to answer one of those questions that we get all the time here in the bike shop. What's the difference between wet lube and a dry lube? Well, today I'm hoping we can answer that for you. So, when do we use a dry lube? Well, just like the label says, we want to use a dry lube when we want to keep our chain and drivetrain nice and dry. The reason we want to keep it dry is we want to prevent the drivetrain and the chain itself from picking up all that dust and dirt. Dust and dirt leads to premature wear. How it does this is actually rather simple. Once properly applied to your chain, and don't worry, we're going to go into details on a later episode on how to properly lubricate your chain, but dry lubes they pretty much come in two parts. There is a carrier, and there's the actual lubricant itself. That's either a wax-based or sometimes a Teflon-based lubricant. So that what happens is once the lube is applied to your chain, give it a few hours, that carrier, it actually evaporates, and all it leaves behind is a nice, dry, clean lubricant. Pretty much at the opposite end of the spectrum. Wet lube, again, as the label states, stays wet on your chain. The reason we like a wet lube, particularly at this time of the year when we're transitioning from sort of summer riding conditions, we're now into fall, a little bit more moisture in the air, the chance of rain, sleet, snow, definitely more prevalent this time of year as we move into the winter months. We want to keep that chain really, really protected from corrosion. As a result, a wet lube will always stay wet on your chain. One important thing to remember with wet lubes is because they do stay wet on your chain, it's an important little tip to try to make sure you do not over lubricate your chain. One of the challenges with over lubricating your chain is because it stays really, really wet, that chain is going to really attract a lot of dirt and grime. Your drivetrain is going to get completely gummed up, and that's something that we don't want to see. All right, there we go. So a quick little overview on the differences between wet lubes and dry lubes. However, before we go, just want to kind of touch on one new product that we're starting to see quite a bit of these days, and that is lubricants specifically for e-bikes. Same basic principles apply. We got wet lubes and we got dry lubes. The big difference is, given the higher torque specs and greater wear potential on e-bike drivetrains, these particular lubricants are much better formulated to handle that task. But again, same basic rules apply. So there you have it, folks. A little bit of a 101 on the difference between various lubricants. Thanks again for joining us, and we hope to see you again real soon on the Gears Tech Zone. Thank you much.